But yeah, so if you listen to the Anchor app, I reported Friday, like the minute I heard about it, I was like, holy crap, GameStop credit card data may have been compromised.
People are saying, I was reading something, this is interesting, a little side note to this, people are saying you shouldn't even use the gift, if you have like a power-up rewards card and you have credit on there, or one of their trade cards, you shouldn't even use it on their shell or even to check their balance, because people are worried that that's been compromised as well.
Yeah, GameStop really hasn't come out and said anything other than issuing a statement that said that they are investigating right now the possible breach of the site. But who knows? I'm sure we'll probably all get, any of us that do any shopping online or in store or have any kind of account with GameStop or whatever, will probably get emails in the next week saying, change your password, we lost passwords, this and that. It'll be interesting because I actually have one of their credit cards, so, I don't know if that was included or if it was just, credit card info that you have used at GameStop, and I very rarely use cash when I go to GameStop. It's usually always, credit. If I use
change.
Anything, so.
He brings a big old bag of pennies, dumps it on the counter, and says, "Dude, count that up. I want a $60 game."
Yeah, really. Yeah, absolutely. But
then there's a picture of John on the wall that says, "Do not talk to us."
Do not take credit from this guy. So. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't anything like that, but anything serious. Hopefully it's just something that maybe they stole passwords or a lot of times they steal that stuff and then they never do anything with it. But
I don't think I've ever. Well, maybe several years ago I used my credit card maybe once. Most of the time it's just cash or the credit.
I never have cash, so it's always debit. It's always debit card is all
Scrooge
I ever
McDuck
use.
Bag of money.
So, yeah, I don't ever use cash anymore. I just don't. The only time I use cash is if I'm on the road and there's tolls or something. I just don't carry cash with me anymore. The trouble is if I have just cash in my wallet, it will just disappear because I'll spend it on stupid stuff. So I just quit taking cash. So
I rarely have cash either.
Yeah, it's easier for me to use credit or debit.
Yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens. I mean, all the time credit card, and maybe GameStop will come out and say, "Oh, by the way, it was only if you used it from this month to this month, blah blah blah, etc."
Yeah, I mean,
actually, you know what?
I've never used their online store, so I don't have to worry about it.
Do you remember when Target had the data breach and they gave everybody like an extra 5% off for one day? Do you remember that, John? It was a couple of years ago.
Oh Lord, I don't remember. I remember when they had the breach,
10%.
They lost. They and the whole credit card, red cards, and everything like that.
10% off. Actually, it was a pretty good deal. GameStop should do that. They're like, "Hi everyone, 20% off your purchase."
and they might, depending on how severe it is. The Target one was very, very severe, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
like, super worried, but nothing ever happened.
No, nothing ever happened with us either. But we had the red cards. We had the red card debit card and the red card credit card, and all of them got shut down, and they sent out new cards, and then with the chips. And what's funny is if you ever got one of those now, they don't even have a strip on the back of them. They're solely chip only. It's so weird. It's like, well, what happens if that chip reader goes bad? Then what are you going to do? But I don't know. The whole chip thing is weird anyway. So what do I know?
There's nothing wrong with the chip thing.
No, I like the chip thing. The chip thing's cool. It's just a lot of people just don't like it. They just. And I don't know why. They're like,
you stick the card in there instead of sliding it through. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, and you just got to wait for it to go, and it's fine. But a lot of, I don't know, old folks, out of the ordinary stuff. Yeah. So Microsoft this week, well, I guess it actually wasn't Microsoft. Microsoft invited Eurogamer to check out the specs of the Scorpio. I think we talked a little bit about that last week, if I remember.
It was actually
right.
Digital Foundry.
Oh, it was a Digital Foundry. Well, they're all Eurogamer, though, aren't they? Aren't they part of Eurogamer? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Regardless, yeah, they came over. Yeah, regardless, we have numbers. The CPU is a custom custom x86 core. It's 6 teraflops, 12 gigs of RAM, terabyte hard drive. It has some kind of vapor chamber cooling. I don't even know what that is. I'm not up on the.
It sounds cool. That's what
Yeah, it does sound really cool.
It's just giant vent holes.
Apparently, it has 8 more. That's the regular Xbox One has 8 gigs of RAM, so this one has a little more.
I don't remember where I saw it, but there was a chart that had comparisons between the Xbox One, and PS4, maybe?
Yeah, and I couldn't find it. I was looking for it and looking for it and looking for it, and I couldn't find it. I don't remember, because I remember seeing that too, but I can't remember if it was... can't remember if it was like... it wasn't IGN, obviously. That was just the one that I threw in there real quick because I got tired of looking. But yeah, I mean, it's very powerful.
Okay, it's on the Eurogamer's article for the same thing. If you click the Digital Foundry link in the IGN link that we have in our show notes, it'll take you there, and it has the chart kind of midway down.
Okay, cool.
PS4 Pro versus Xbox One versus Project Scorpio, all the numbers.
Well, I mean,
PC.
It is a very but it is very powerful.
It's numbers, yay! Now tell us what we're going to do with them.
Yeah, I mean,
tell us how much it costs.
Yeah, they're probably not going to say anything about cost till E3. So we've still got a couple months on that. I can't imagine that thing being any less than $499. I just can't, because if it is any less than that, even at $499, they're probably taking a huge loss with what is on there. They're taking a big gamble. I know
it all
developers
depends on what Microsoft wants to do with this. If they just want it to be their luxury console that 5 people will buy, then it'll be a way more. But if they want to sell it as this is the thing that's going to make us catch up with PlayStation 4, so we're going to sell it for $5. Who knows? They're going to tell us what we're going to do with it, though, because if it's just, hey, here's all the same games that are on Xbox One, but now they run at a higher resolution, that's not enough to sell it to a big number of people. There'll be a certain, subset of people who be like, yes, I will put it on my 4K TV, and that's cool, but the mass market's not going to care about that at all. So
yeah. Well, the one thing that I thought was interesting with this is apparently that you will still see the graphical enhancements without 4K. Was one of the things that the IGN article said. Now, 4K will enhance.
That's all they're doing. So instead of it being less than 1080 and blowing it up, it's more than 1080 and putting it down, which you do that on PC all the time. There's super sampling settings in lots of games.
Well, but my point is,
have a high rig to do it. But
right. Well, but my point is with PS4 Pro, it doesn't do that. You can't get any of that. You can't get any of the benefit out of it without a 4K TV, which is really kind of a. You get the PS4 Pro, you get the better. What's the word I'm trying to say? The better performance. It loads faster. There's not the glitching, the screen tearing, and things like that. But with what they're claiming with the Scorpio is you will actually be able to see a visual difference. Which, I mean, to me, maybe a lot of people that'll be a selling point for it. Oh, I don't have to go get a 4K TV to see an upgrade in graphics. But if I want to see the full range of upgrade, then I need the 4K. I don't know. It's a whole.
If they could sell it for $399 and not take too much of a loss on it, that might sell a whole lot more hardware, but even that is expensive.
Yeah.
The problem is there's no market for this thing, so this premium console market does not exist.
Yeah, it's a whole new
because even PS4
thing.
Pro isn't really that, and there's a certain kind of price point where people are like, I don't want to pay that for a console.
Well, I didn't even.
So they're trying to make a new market for it, which maybe there will be one, but there's not that many people with 4K TVs percentage-wise out there yet.
And I have a 4K TV. I didn't buy a PS4 Pro. I'm not interested in buying a Scorpio unless you really sell me on it. And when I say sell me on it, it's going to have to look fantastic.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's enough. I think it's got to have games that will only run on it.
Well,
which they're not going to do that, at least to start with. But also they need to upgrade things that's not just, higher resolution. It needs to have better animations, like more animations, because it's more powerful. We can fit more in there, and it will be able to handle it. Have better AI, have more, branches in, an RPG where you have just more possibilities, and that takes time to make games with that complicated stuff.
Well,
but that's what the power needs to bring you, because otherwise it's not interesting. It's
right.
just, okay, what makes me want to choose this over a PC? Because a lot of the people who care about graphics and really cranking it, that type of person already has got their big PC that they put a whole bunch of money and time into.
Exactly. Well,
they don't care about this.
The CPU is 30% faster than the Xbox One S. The GPU is 4.6 times more powerful, and of course, it's got more RAM. So, you've got more power right there. But the only thing that you're doing with that power is just kind of upscaling the graphics, making the resolution a little better. To me, it's like, okay, is that worth the X amount of dollars for me to take my Xbox to GameStop, trade it in for $150, if that, and then turn around and I don't know.
The problem with this, if it's just an upgrade or an extension to the Xbox family, Xbox One, and it's not a new console, means no one's going to take the time to really dig in and optimize something and make it specially for that. They're just going to port their same thing that already comes out on all the other consoles onto it, and not really put in the time to really take advantage of all that extra hardware.
Right. Well, and this is the problem I have with things like this. It's like, okay, so what you're saying is I'm an Xbox One owner. It'll still play, the Scorpio will still play Xbox One games. It'll still play Xbox 360 backwards compatible games. But, if the developer chooses so, they can bring out a patch that will make it better this and more of that and blah, 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 blah. To me, all you're doing is making it more strenuous on developers, because now not only do they have to develop for the PS3 or the Xbox One and the PS4, but now you're asking them to make a upgraded version for the the Scorpio or whatever the heck they're going to call it, and the other one. It's like, are they really, other than your big companies, are they really going to, are people going to take advantage of that? I don't know.
Probably not. And what they'll do is they'll take the PC version, if there is one of their multi-platform game, and they will just tick off enough of the boxes that whatever the Scorpio can run, and then poop, there you go, that's the port for it, and they won't put tons of time into it.
Yeah.
And then at some point, there'll probably be some broken games out there that are just like, oh, you could tell they rushed that one out. So who knows? Maybe E3 will come and they'll tell us all this new information, like, here's our plan for it, but right now we've just got numbers, so we're all guessing.
Yeah, well, and I've read some things from developers that are really excited about it. It gives them more freedom to do this and do that and, things like that. But that's just, to me, that's the standard answer that you always hear from a new console that comes out. I didn't see the one that's the thing that really aggravates me is it puts Sony in a weird situation, because E3 last year, here's new games for PlayStation 4, here's new games for Xbox One. Oh, by the way, Xbox One, we're bringing out a new version of Xbox. We'll announce it sometime next year. Just be looking forward. It's going to be super cool. You're gonna love it. It's going to be huge. And they walked off, and then all of a sudden November rolls around, and Sony's like, oh, look, here's the PlayStation 4 Pro. It does this and this and this and this and this. It's like, where the heck did this come from, and why did you bring it out, and what's the point for it?
We knew about PS4 Pro before it ever came out, because it was rumored just as much as Scorpio. We pretty much knew it was confirmed coming. It's just no official word from Sony, because didn't need to be.
Well, but what Sony has done is they rushed something to market that the market wasn't in demand for at the point, and then Microsoft has set back and said, now here's ours, and now it's 30% better than yours. Now Sony's going to go, well, we need to bring out one that runs like this. And
no, Sony ain't going to care. Here's my prediction. Scorpio's going to come out. There'll be plenty, it'll sell some, for all the enthusiast people to rush out and get the new thing, but it's going to tank, because we're not in the spot where people want new consoles yet. When PS4 and Xbox One were coming off a really, really long time off the older consoles that they were coming from, so everyone was hungry for new machines. We're not that far into this generation yet. People aren't really just clamoring for like, oh, I need a new console. So even if this is some brand new thing, they're going to have a tough sell trying to get it into households when everyone's just like, well, I've already got my PS4, or like me, I've got my PC,
Yeah.
I've got PS4, and I've got the Nintendo, so I've got anything that I could ever want. So unless Scorpio has something super special that will pull me in, there's no reason for me to pay attention to it.
Right. Well, I got an Xbox One S, I got a PS4, I've got a Switch, and I've got a PC. Of all those things, my PC is going on, I think this rig's about 8 years old now. I mean, it's getting up there. It's like a 3-core, and it's still she's still kicking and does a good job, and I love her to death. But am I going to go put $500 into an upgraded Xbox One, or am I going to go maybe put another $800 in a brand new PC that will put the Xbox One and the PS4 to shame? Yeah, I'm probably going to go upgrade that PC before I do anything.
Here's the thing with Sony has such a huge lead over the Xbox One as far as just number of consoles out there.
Yeah.
They can afford to wait and see what happens with Scorpio before they ever try to rush anything out there. They don't need to care. They're just going to sell plenty of games on it. They're going to be selling more PS4s even with this out there. I don't really think it's going to make a big enough splash to make any difference.
It's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It
is weird.
I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm sort of wait and see, and I don't own an Xbox One, right? So it would be interesting to see what the price is. Would it be enough for me to go, okay, now I'm interested, or is it going to be like, oh, it's $600? I'm like, I'm good.
Well, that's going to be one big thing that's going to have to sell people on as a price that looks decent, and then also, what am I going to play on it?
Okay. Well, Nathaniel, you just bought a PlayStation 4 around Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Christmas time.
And you got it because it was a good price and was on sale. Now, what if you looked at it and you were going to pay $300 for one? Would you have went ahead and just spent the extra $100 and got the PlayStation 4 Pro just to have it? Or would you have still got the $100 cheaper PlayStation 4? Not taking into account that it wasn't on sale or anything like that. I'm just saying regular retail price.
I mean, I doubt I would have gotten a PS4 Pro because I didn't care. It was on sale some at the same time when I was bought my regular one, but for what I wanted the console for, it didn't matter to me.
I mean, that's the only reason I would see anybody buying a PlayStation 4 Pro. Either A, they're replacing a PlayStation 4 that broke, or B, they're brand new into the PlayStation 4 family and they want one. So why not go ahead and just spend the extra $100 for the newest model?
I thought about it for a hot minute, but then I was like, nah, I'll spend that money on the extra games that I can get.
Yeah. I mean, that was a really, really cheap deal. Throwing deals completely out. I mean, if you're just walking in and go, I just got my tax money back, and it's it's $299 for a PlayStation 4 or $399 for a Pro. It's like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just go ahead and plop an extra $100 down, and that'll foolproof me for if they ever bring out something.
Now, if I was coming from, I wasn't gaming on much of anything, I didn't have a PC or anything else, and I wanted to get my PS4 because I wanted a gaming system, I probably would get a Pro in that situation. But since I already have my PC that I play a lot of multi-platform stuff on, I was just like, I'll just get the regular one.
I don't know. It's so weird. It's like they now they want to do we want to do a new console cycle every 3 years, but you know what? We really can't piss off everybody. So let's just bring out upgraded versions of it like they do cell phones and see how it goes. And it's just a very weird thing. It's not the same market. No, it's not. It's not the same market. And you're coming off a market that went 10 years with Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and they were fine with it. 10 years before that, it was like, oh, we got to bring out one every 5 years because technology's changing so fast, and people got to have the best and now. And then, the market didn't really support it then, so it was like, well, let's just stretch it out 10 years and see what happens. And they found out that, hey, people will still buy, consoles even though they're 10 years old. And now it's like, well, let's try something different. No, why not just... Why? If you're still making money, you're still selling things. It's like
they're a tech company, and tech companies always have to push to put the brand new thing out there so that they can be the hot ticket item. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do, and you're going to fail a bunch. But that one time you hit it big, then you're the talk of the town, and you sell millions and millions of systems. That's where PS4 is right now. Who knows what the next one will be down the line? But is probably not going to be Scorpio.
Well,
My
yeah,
guess.
I don't know. We'll find out. It just seems so strange and weird to me, and I don't get it. I don't understand
Yeah.
it. It doesn't.
I mean, part of the problem is maybe they're holding stuff back for the Scorpio, but Xbox right now does not have the games to draw you over there.
Yeah.
Because they're coming from a position of being behind, you can't really count on like third-party stuff.
Well,
Like they could back in 360. It's like, oh, play Call of Duty on our system. Well, they don't have that now. That's PlayStation. And then the exclusive ones they have, there's nothing really, new and super interesting that are pulling people in the same way that some of the stuff that Sony has is like Horizon, or even to a lesser extent Neo, or some of the other things that have come out this year. There's nothing like that on Xbox right now.
And the other thing that everybody fails to remember with your first party X or Microsoft games is they're available on PC as well now too.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would, especially if you're a PC owner who can run those kind of games, why are you worried? Why would you even have a glimmer of interest in an Xbox One when you can get it on on the PC and have the exact same experience? I don't know.
Well, not exactly the same. You have to deal with this trashy Windows Store.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no.
not 100%, but I mean, you still can play the
But
game.
yes, yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I mean, the only reason I bought an Xbox was, one, I got a real good deal on one on Craigslist, and two, I wanted to play Forza. That was the only reason why, because still we don't have a good racing game on PlayStation 4.
I had my 360. I loved the 360. I look at Xbox One and I'm like, there's nothing on it that I want to play.
Yeah.
That I can't play elsewhere. Like, maybe there was one or two games here or there for a hot second. I was like, yeah, that looks kind of interesting, but nothing that makes me say, I want this console.
Yeah.
Whereas with Sony, it was like, I want Uncharted 4, Horizon looks awesome, and it turned out to be so. There's a few other games that I wanted to play, like Bloodborne, that I really, really wanted the system for. There's nothing on Xbox there on me personally to that. And I think there's fewer games like that for even, Okay, start over. It's not as diverse of a lineup.
Well, yeah, you're right.
I was kind of going off and around the point I was trying to get. So it's not hitting as many people as, Sony is with PlayStation. There's lots of different kinds of games available and lots of good quality ones, too.
Yeah, and I mean, I have an Xbox One. I just have the games that you cannot buy on any other system than Xbox One. Yeah. And I do like the backwards compatibility aspect of it. There's a lot of games that are on the backwards compatibility list that I still like to play that, now I don't have to have my Xbox 360 hooked up. It's ever since we moved, it's stayed in the box, and it's like, I want to play Red Dead, throw the disc into the Xbox One, or I want to play, Lost Odyssey. And it's, I like the things that Xbox did. If Xbox One would have been cheaper or the same price as the PlayStation 4 when they released, I probably would have went Xbox One. But since it was higher, I didn't. I went PlayStation, and that became my console of choice for everything.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft has done a really good job trying to backtrack the Xbox One from where it started, and it's in a much better place now, and it's fairly successful too. I haven't checked lately, but I know at some point it was selling more than the 360 had at that point in its life cycle. I don't know if it kept that up to this point or not, but they're selling plenty. It's just that PlayStation 4 is insane with how many they've sold. So by comparison, they always look bad. They're doing okay, but now they're stealing focus even from that console to do this other thing. And you wonder, well, maybe what would have happened if they had spent a little bit less money on trying to crank out this super powerful, crazy box and spent more on developing games and maybe not had to cancel 2 or 3 of them like they've had to as well recently.
Yeah. I mean,
who knows?
I don't know. We're at a weird time with consoles, and I don't know. I don't like it, but that's maybe a lot of the old man in me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it seems like right now we're hitting this point where it's the heyday of the console generation, where all the companies have figured out how to get the power out of the box, and they're putting out the games that they want to put out, and this is sort of the period of time for 2 or 3 years where all the best games are going to come out for these systems, and then now Microsoft is coming around to try and put something else in there, some new machine. It's like,
Yeah,
too early. It just feels too early. No matter what it is.
And then you have Nintendo just sitting in the back doing whatever they want to do, and they're just letting Microsoft and Sony just bang each other to death. Yeah. And
well, I mean, that's the point for Nintendo has done ever since, like, even the Wii, because the GameCube is the last one they had, which was kind of trying to stay in the same rat race with everybody else. Yeah. And so Nintendo, since the Wii, has been like, we're going to do our own thing over here and have different things. And it works out because even the type of games Nintendo makes, you don't really get those on any of the other consoles.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing and a weird time, and I don't know if I like it or not.
It's a great time to be a gamer. How about that?
I guess you got
what you want, and you got plenty of ways to spend your money.
I worry you have too many options. I worry that they're starting to get things a little too what's the word? A little too full. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that we're there yet. I think we're fine. I'll be curious to see when E3 comes around, when they show this more in depth what it looks like. But even then, I'm not in the market for it. I could probably afford to buy one, but there's nothing pulling me into it. So unless there's just some weird, crazy secret that they've got that's going to be the best thing ever, it's not going to pull me in.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, that's. I'm not even interested in it. I'm just not. I don't even know what to say other than nah.
I'm curious about it intellectually. Like, ooh, I want to know what this thing actually turns out to be and what it looks like, and how they're going to try and sell it to me. Since the last time that they tried to sell a big new box, it didn't go so well, and they had to kind of change track and go a different direction. It won't have Kinect, so we know that.
Well, yeah. And you know what? I didn't even realize that they were giving away free cables to connect it to the S until the other day when they discontinued it. I was like, well, shoot, if I'd realized that, I would have got one just to have one since they were giving them away. Yeah. They didn't really say anything about
advertise
that.
It?
They didn't advertise it, so I didn't know anything about it.
Unless you have the new stuff, the original kind of Kinect type things from right at launch, there's no reason for it. No one's making them anymore. Unless you like talking to your box, which, I mean, there is a thing for that.
If I used it for Netflix like I did the 360, then I would have the talking thing, because that's all I ever used to Kinect for on the 360 was to talk to Netflix and start, stop, pause, stop, up, and I never did use it for anything else other than just kind of played with it at parties when we first got it, when we used to have house parties all the time. But
nice.
I don't know. It's weird. The whole thing is weird, and we'll see. E3, if they pull out something on E3, and I'm looking at it going, holy crap! If I can get that and it looks that good on a regular television, I don't have to hook it up to my 4K, then sign me up. But I'm not counting on that.
It comes with 3 free wishes. Yay!
Yeah, and we'll give you $200 for your Xbox One S that you have.
It's just that it's kind of like they're trying to push this boulder up a hill, and you can just look at it like, okay, they've got so many obstacles and roadblocks in their way. What are they even going to do? It's more like I'm curious about it from that aspect. It's like, okay, what are they going to try to do? Because I just don't see where they're going to come from where it looks like a good deal in any direction. Maybe there's, I'm sure there's people that are way smarter than me, have a good plan, and it's just like they're sitting back like, oh, I wish you could tell people now.
Yeah.
But until then, we're just going to be like, no thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Very strange.
What's next?
Speaking of very strange, Sega restricts Puyo Puyo Tetris video streaming in Japan, which is kind of interesting since this is
it's Tetris.
It's so weird. This is the second game this week that they've restricted streaming natively from the PlayStation 4 for Persona, and now they're doing it with this game. That's only in Japan. They haven't said. I haven't seen any PR stuff from this, so I don't know if any review codes.
I don't think it's out here yet, is it?
It's not. It's coming out in the next week or two.
Yeah, I know it was soon, but it wasn't quite out.
Usually I get PR emails a couple weeks ahead of time with, rules and regulations that's coming out, and I haven't seen anything like that. So this kind of came out of left field, which, I mean,
that game is really cool. But
the demo is awesome on the Switch. Have you made a Japanese account just to download the demo?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, you ought to, and you'll never buy the game because you could play you just play that demo over and over and over again. It's like, well, I don't need the game.
I've seen it. I've seen it online, so I know kind of what it's about, and it looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But why do you care if people stream it? It's just a puzzle game.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
Tetris, and it has some nice, spins on the Tetris formula, and Puyo Puyo, I guess, because it's technically both of those mushed together. But why restrict streaming? It's so weird. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like the Persona one, that one I don't agree with, but at least on a slightly small level, even though the way they went about it is crazy and weird, it makes at least some sense because of the type of game it is.
Right.
A puzzle game? Like,
well,
what?
my thing, and I said this, we had a big long discussion about it in our team chat about it. My thing is, it's a story-driven game. I understand, their reasoning for not wanting to put it, but people have the option of, if you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch the stream.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of, if you ever read the software warranty stuff that comes with the games, I mean, it specifically says in there, unauthorized copying or broadcasting of this software is against rules and regulations. So I mean, technically,
the Persona thing is weird for different reasons than that, though. It's weird because it's a game that's been out in Japan for half a year.
Yeah, almost a year.
More.
Yeah,
and it's also a game that has a fairly high profile for, I don't know, maybe the highest it's ever been over here. So that kind of makes it weird because more people are paying attention to it this time.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's this weird half measure thing.
Yeah.
Where you can stream it, but only to this point, and then you have to stop. You can't go past there.
Well,
if they said no streaming at all, that would kind of make sense. Or if it was like, all right, whatever, we realize the stuff that streaming is these days, and we realize it actually helps us out more than it hurts us, so stream all of it. That would make sense to me. But this weird half measure thing is just like, what?
And the other thing is it doesn't say that it doesn't say to stop. You can, but you may get a strike against your channel, and you may get the video taken down on YouTube. Anybody though that has done anything with Sega games as far as uploading them to YouTube, there was a time, and I haven't uploaded any of my Yakuza stuff to YouTube in quite a while, but there was a time, even the Japanese import Yakuza games that were not available in America, I could not get them uploaded to YouTube. As soon as I would try to upload it, strike, nope, it's got to go. Sega's always been funny with stuff like that.
Something weird with sort of culture, I think, that's driving this.
I think so too.
Anything else? Because it's mostly Japanese companies now that are trying to restrict this. A lot of the other companies that are based elsewhere, they don't care, or they even encourage it.
Bandai was one. We got a review code for the latest Tales game, and Sean was like, "Hey, I want to stream this. Is that cool? Yeah, go ahead and stream it." Well, it's not letting me stream it natively through the PlayStation 4, and I emailed Bandai about that, and they were like, "Yep, Bandai Japan does not want that game streamed at all," and Bandai came out and said nothing about it. They did not announce it. They didn't let anybody know about it, but they were taking videos down on YouTube. They were blocking channels, and they were doing all that. And all of a sudden the high profile Persona game comes out and everybody just loses their crap, and I'm like, dude,
because it's the highest profile thing that this has hit to this point.
Yeah.
And it's just weird because you've got the console where sharing is a big feature of that console, and yet there's still companies that are just like, no, we don't want this.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, if you read the press release on the U.S. site where they referred to their Japanese overlords, made me laugh so much.
Oh yeah, well, but if you
the more layers you peel back of this onion, the weirder it gets.
Well, you know what though, as somebody who gets press emails from Atlas and Sega on a regular basis, this is nothing new. That's the way they talk about it in all of it for press. Yeah. I mean, that's the way they've always talked about it.
That's different than doing
I know.
Publicly.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody.
It's just funny to see it now weird. Publicly, but as someone who has been years seeing it behind the scenes, when I read it online, it was like, no big deal. And then I went, wait a minute, they actually said that out loud. It was like, but...
Wait a minute, everyone can hear this.
Yeah, wait a minute. You said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud. It was like, but that's been the Sega of America, Sega of Japan thing ever since the Genesis days.
Yeah.
They just always have butted heads with things. It's so weird. It's like if Sega of Japan would have let Sega of America do the things the way they wanted to do it, Nintendo never would have got that foothold. The Genesis just would have, and the Saturn just would have ruled them all. But They didn't.
Someone had to get involved.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's-
They got good.
Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, but I think you're right. I think the whole thing is just a weird cultural thing. But man, I tell you, a lot of people just can't let it go. I mean, there are some people on Twitter that was just like, "Screw you, I'm not doing that." I'm like, who cares? What?
Now that I've played it, and I've played about 10 hours with my save, and let's see, you start out, I forget what it is, like April something is the date in game.
Yeah.
And like you can't stream past 7/7.
July 7th.
I am just now after 10 hours, a few days from the end of April.
Yeah.
I think I'm about 8 days from the end of April or so. So you could play a lot of that game and stream a lot before you get to 7/7.
My understanding
Unless
was,
it fast forwards, though. I don't know.
I don't know. My understanding was 7/7 is about a quarter of the game. When
good Lord.
when they sent us the review code, there's always streaming restrictions and review codes, of course. So I didn't think anything of it. And in that email is the exact regulation that they have on everybody. 7/7, don't stream past 7/7 or da. And it said in that email that is a quarter of the game, and I'm like, well, holy crap! I start out in like April. It's like, okay, if you're streaming a quarter of that game and it's 25 hours, who cares? I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a super weird thing, but
yeah.
There's plenty of people who are doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's like I
I've
say.
been reading some stories on it, and like they name their streams all these fun things.
Yeah, but the stream is fine on Twitch. It's the uploading to YouTube that the people that's where you'll probably get the biggest strike at, because I doubt Sega's got people watching.
Well, that's the easiest place for them to get it.
Yeah,
because of all the systems on YouTube. Where with the streaming, if you keep doing it over and over and over, and you're big enough that they pay attention to you, then maybe they can go to Twitch. But it's a live stream, kind of harder to catch you.
I don't think Sega's big enough to have somebody setting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, going, how many times do I got to search Twitch to see if somebody's streaming Persona? Oh, he's streaming on the. It's July 24th in the game. Cut that stream. Cut it now. I don't know, and it's probably something that in the next 6 months they'll probably go stream it all you want. It doesn't matter. It's always the 2-week rule, the 2-week spoiler rule. Don't talk about anything online until 2 weeks after it's out. If you haven't played it in 2 weeks or saw it in 2 weeks, then you're out of luck. Forget about it.
Oh goodness, you're not gonna. If you're a normal person, you're not gonna finish Persona in 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
Unless you're just playing it 24 hours a day or 12 hours a day for 6 days straight.
Like if you have that time, yes, but normal people don't have that much time.
I don't have that time. I don't have that time at all. And last but not least, I put this in the show notes, is the Hummel Bundle, I guess the THQ Nordic PlayStation 4/3 Hummel Bundle is out. You get 15 games for $15.
Pretty good.
It's a pretty good deal if you don't have a lot of those games. The only game,
if you have none of the games, there's like 2 or 3 that are okay, then the rest of them are just kind of fluff.
Yeah. The Legend of Kai was really the only one that I was really interested in. Darksiders, I have it on PC, PlayStation 3. Yeah. Darksiders 2, I've played. Golly, not only do you get Darksiders and Darksiders 2, but you get Darksiders Definitive Edition.
Well, that's how it is on PC. I own Darksiders and Darksiders 2 already, and when the different editions of those came out, they just put them in my Steam account.
Yeah. And I probably have them too. I just haven't pulled up my Steam account in 100 years.
It's cool that they're PlayStation bundle. They don't do those as super often because it's probably harder to do them. But the amount of stuff, you have to be really interested in a couple of specific things in order to be worth it.
Red Faction's cool. The Chronos game I've kind of been interested in. Eric, you reviewed that one, didn't you? Didn't you review that one for the site? Somebody reviewed it for the site.
Which game?
Chronos.
Battle Worlds Chronos.
I think I did, actually. That was an interesting one. I can't remember what I thought. I think I liked it, actually.
Yeah, that was one that I was interested in, and I think I was busy at the time, and I couldn't review it myself.
Oh, I did, and you did the Kai game, too.
Yeah, you did the Kai game, and you did Destroy All Humans.
Yep, Destroy All Humans is fun. Nice little humor in there. Kai was pretty interesting. I believe it was a platformer. It reminded me of a lot of stuff on the N64 era, but looked a lot better.
Yeah, and that's really the only one I'm interested in. And I was kind of hoping it'd be one of those ones where they had but it's all one code to unlock everything.
Yeah, one code. Yeah. Is that so people can't resell them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
For me, there'd always be a couple I can't use. I'd give them away, or I'd trade them on like Leap Trade or something.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is a lot of people buy them and then they sit on them for about 3 or 4 months and then they turn around and sell them for about $15 a piece or $10 a piece and make.
Do you remember when they had the Capcom bundle for Humble Bundle, the one with like a bunch of codes? So a few of those, like the coupons also included, expired within a couple months. So that was one way they tried to get around it, but
yeah. I thought about picking it up for $15. It's still got, I think, 8 days. It's still got quite a bit of time left. They've sold 63,000 of them, which is pretty good.
Yeah, Battle World Chronos. Going back to that, reminded me of Total Annihilation, actually.
Oh, okay.
A lot of that, and that's what I dug about it. It was a little bit tough to play with a controller. Oh man, keyboard and mouse, I would have been perfect. But controller, it's okay.
That doesn't surprise me. It looked really cool though, but
it's interesting. It was a cool narrative. Yeah, it's a good bundle. I might get it.
I might too. I really, and the thing is I just really want Kai, but for $15 and maybe get that Battle Chronos to try it out for $15 may be worth it. I don't know.
I think it's really weird that they have the original Red Faction, a PS4 version of it, but they don't have like Gorilla, the actual one that you would think they'd put into this bundle because it's more recent, or the one after that, which is terrible, but you figured they'd throw it in a bundle.
And those were both backwards compatible on 4? Are those back?
I have no idea console-wise.
Have I played the original Red Faction? I don't know.
I know.
I had no idea the original one was on PS4. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, it's
so old of a game.
Well, it's the PS2 to PS4 version thing. It's not. That's it's all it is. It's just it's one of those weird, not remasters, but it's just.
It was easy enough to put this on here where it'll run, so that's all we're gonna do.
I like Darksiders. Right. That's pretty cool. But
Darksiders is really good.
Yeah.
2 is not.
Really like 2 in the definitive edition, so I get some DLC and that's it. And Darksiders Remastered, is that just an HD version of 1?
I think so, because one's the PS4 version.
Still lots of bang for your buck, though. Look at it this way: lots of good games, especially if you've never played.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a bunch of them, then I mean, if you never played Darksiders or stuff like that. Of course, if you're a Wii U owner, Darksiders 2 is coming out this week on the Wii U.
I saw that.
Really?
Wow.
Physical.
It looked really good.
Physical version of it is coming out on the. It's like, holy crap! Are you serious? You guys are going to go ahead and bring that out? It must have just been so far in development that they just
Nordic has done several things where I go, "Are you serious?" Including the putting THQ back on the front of their name.
Yeah, it's so
because they bought them, including the rights to it, but no one thought they would use the name of a failed company and bring it back. Like, why? THQ does not have that much of a name recognition.
No, they really don't. They really don't have that. When I think,
and if you do recognize it, you're like, oh, that company that failed.
Pretty much. That's what I was just going to say. When I think of THQ, I think of failure. Is what I think. I don't know. It's very weird with them bringing it out on the Wii U. I saw that this week on the PR email from Nintendo. It's like Wii U release Darksiders 2. I went, what the crap? Are you serious?
It's coming to Switch.
Yeah,
in about 3 years.
Yeah, it's like holy crap. I might have to buy that game just because it may be, I thought the last game would be the Zelda game. It's like, well, I might buy that game just to say, look, I got this weird, obscure 4-year-old game on this system that just came out today.
Just to have it.
So weird. Very, very weird.
I wonder if they put all the menu stuff on the tablet, if it would make it worth doing or not.
I don't know. I asked my buddy, since I didn't open up my copy of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Wii U, I was like, do you have the map on the Wii U gamepad or anything like that? He's like, nope. So it's just the game. You can just mirror it down to it. That's all it is. There's no real special things to do with the gamepad. I went, well, that's kind of what I figured, but I thought, well, maybe they put the map on there and I could just highlight things with my finger or something like that. But nope, they didn't even do that. That
would have been nice.
Not a zero.
No. Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, well, it's still sealed and it'll stay sealed till maybe someday when I decide that I want to play it again on the Wii U for some reason.
Crack it open and take a shot.
Yeah, so one thing that I did catch was Spinner asked at the beginning, you wanted to know our favorite video game based on a TV show.
Yep.
You would have to go way back to like the NES, Super NES days
16-bit era.
to get. Yeah, I mean there hasn't been anything based. Well, I take that back. X-Files on the PlayStation 2 was pretty daggone good. Did you ever play that game?
Never played it, but I'm gonna have to check it out now.
It's actually pretty cool. It's very Resident Evil-ish. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and it had a really good story. It has all the voice actors, all the actors from the TV show doing the voices in the game and things like
good.
that.
Yeah.
And
They
I have
have
a.
a
think of
PlayStation
any
1 too,
TV
right?
ones.
An X-Files game? You did. You sure you're not thinking of that?
Nope. I'm thinking of 2 because I have a copy of it. I need to go get it buffed because it was one that was so scratched up that GameStop wouldn't take it, and I actually kept it instead of throwing it in the trash.
Resistor Serve. Interesting. I'll
Yeah.
put it on my list.
Yeah. I'm trying to
like
think
it
of
shoot
TV
things with a
video
gun.
games.
I can think of two. Two of them.
All right.
Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Yep,
Genesis.
that one's great. I like
Based
the
on Batman
Super.
animated series.
I like the Super NES version better.
I don't think I ever played the Super Nintendo version, but hey, I probably have it in emulation.
Well, yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, the Power Rangers game for Super Nintendo. Not the one for Genesis, but the one for Super Nintendo.
I never played any of the Power Rangers games.
They're entertaining.
I have a copy of Batman and Robin for Adventures of Batman and Robin. I have it for the Genesis, and I have it for the Super NES, and they're actually 2 different games.
Yep.
That's
Don't
what's
they have one for
hilarious.
Game Gear too?
Mm-hmm. I have a copy of it too.
CD, right?
Yep,
Sega
I have the
CD.
Sega CD version too, and it's a totally different game. It's a driving game, is what it is.
Okay. I got 2 more. Simpsons Hit and Run for PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox, and the Simpsons game for PS3, which is getting very expensive, by the way. It's like a $30 game online.
Yeah, I've owned that one a couple times, but every time I played it, it didn't have trophies, so I went back to the 360
it's kind of dumb, like, honestly.
I love it.
But
I love it.
all
for
the
that.
trivia and the cool things you get to see in Springfield, I can't resist it.
Yeah.
And I really like Hit and Run. That's a fantastic game.
I have one. The only one I can think of, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds.
I never played that one. Was it good?
It was a good one.
It was PS2, wasn't it?
I believe it was that era. Maybe, I don't remember. It's just the name popped into my head and I can't remember which system it was on.
Spinner's asking. Spinner's talking about CSI or Lost on PS3. Did you either of you guys ever play that, John?
Wasn't the
No.
CSI games just like a kind of a click and what do they call it?
Adventure?
Point and click adventure? Wasn't that what they were?
Maybe.
I don't know about
I've seen the
Lost. Don't have a
game.
clue.
The cover was green.
Yeah, Chaos Bleeds was on PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sweet. I get that X-Files game on eBay for under $4.
What's that? The Buffy?
No, the X-Files game.
X-Files.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
what he
not.
said, yeah.
It's not expensive at all.
I found a couple auctions.
Yeah, I like I said, I have a copy of it around here somewhere. I'd actually forgot I had it when I was packing up to move. I was like, "Holy crap! Here's this copy of it. I need to." And it had just a scratch on the back of it. It still worked, but it was like, "Man, I need to go get that buffed out," and I don't know where I put it at, so I haven't been able to go get it buffed out. It's around here somewhere. I don't know. I don't necessarily count the Walking Dead games because to me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in chat. Is
Yeah.
like,
They're
that's
more
based on the comic, and it's
yeah.
not based on the show.
They made
And
they
neither
made
one of them are like the comic exactly
No.
either. So
The one that they did base on the TV show was a horrible game, and it was on.
Oh, yeah.
It was on 360. It was just terrible.
So terrible.
I remember seeing that one. Yeah, now.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, to get really good TV show, Knight Rider on NES. I remember that one. But yeah, most of the time it's the Batman games on the 16-bit era systems that are like the best, I think. Anyway. But I did enjoy that Xbox or that X-Files game. It was just like playing a episode of the X-Files in a game, and it had its own contained story and everything like that. And it was
That'd be a interesting one that Telltale could do an X-Files series of games. with.
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Actually, all the other auctions I found for the X-Files game was about $20. So it's not horribly expensive, but
No, it's not. It's not real expensive, and I don't think it's too hard to find. I mean, it's pretty. Last I was in a game store, mom and pop store, I think I saw 2 or 3 copies of it.
I'll have to check my local.
Yeah,
We got a new retro store in town. Actually, it just opened up. Guy's been buying up stuff for 70% of the value on eBay. I don't have anything, but one of my friends sold quite a few things to him and got a big old chunk of money. So.
Yeah, that's the way a lot of guys do it anymore. Just buy
Get
it.
a little bit of competition, not that far away from the other one, probably a couple miles. So it'll be interesting. On my way home from work, so I'll have to
Yeah, there's actually one down here. It's in the little town up the river. They sold at flea markets and stuff, and they just kind of got a little shop of their own. And I went in the other day. I didn't even realize it was there, and stopped by. And they actually had a lot of stuff and had a lot of decent prices on stuff. So
decent price is always good.
yeah, it's nice to have even a little small store around here. It's nice to have one because you don't usually see that in this small of a community. So
that's definitely true.
Yep. All right. Well, the only other thing that I can tell you about is we got 3 days left on the Bethesda giveaway. If you follow us on Twitter, that's where you can find the link to enter it. There's about 200 or 300 people that have entered it, so I mean, you still got a good chance to win it. So hopefully, let's see. I said it's 3 days. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Should be middle of the week, so should have a winner sometime Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'll get that out to whoever wins it.
Yeah. Do we have that pinned up on our Twitter page?
Yep. It's pinned on the Twitter. So because I'm using the Gleam thing, and it's in the show notes, and this is a huge URL, and I'm not going to try to say it on here.
Yeah.
Just either go to the site and click the notes, or go to the Twitter, or go to our Twitter account, and it's right there pinned on the top of Twitter.
Twitter's probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, I would think so. Twitter would be the easiest way to get to it. Other than that, if I'm not working this week, I will probably do a new Anchor broadcast every day like I did last week. I did almost every day last week. So I know I did Monday, Tuesday, Friday, I think. I didn't do Wednesday or Thursday, but this week I'll probably do it more often if there's news to be done. So anyway, they sent me an email, and they wanted to let me know about a few things. They're actually going to try to pin us in the search as a featured channel. So
nice.
Yeah, that's really nice because there's only about 7.
Is it just because you're doing tons of activity and they saw that or something?
As long as you're consistent. That's what they want, and there's only like 5 video, because that's the weird thing about the Anchor app is if you don't know to search for somebody on the Anchor, somebody may have an Anchor channel and you just don't know it, because if you go under the search and see the featured, or you click by title and go like video game, there's only like 4 people on there, but they're the only ones that do everything every day. That's the only reason why they're there. So you have to have consistency with it to get under the where people can see you. So hopefully, I can get it this week because I got nothing else going on. I'm just kind of hanging out. I was supposed to work this week, and I was like, so where am I working this week? They're like, well, we don't know. We haven't heard about jobs this week. But I'm guessing since I'm down in North Carolina and everybody's off on spring break, they're not probably sending us out to. They don't want us in sheet stores moving aisles when people are coming in and out on vacation. So, but other than that, that's all I got. If you don't listen on the Anchor app, download it, or you can go to the website and find it too. It's on. You can go online. The app is a lot more intuitive than the website though, and you can take it with you. So it's a pretty cool thing. So
I was going to talk about all my garage sale finds.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit late. We can save them for next week.
Okay, save them for next week then. All right, well, I'm going to stop this recording. Where's it at? There it is. I got too much.
Keep that in.
I got too much crap on the. I don't know if I'd said it or not before I shut it off.
That'd be funny.
I'll see.
Yeah. We had some good conversation there. Lots of talk about the Xbox. So that was good. Good.
All right, next weekend is Easter weekend, so that was why I didn't, like I said before we started recording, I didn't realize that Easter was next weekend, so that's why I thought, well, we'll go ahead and do a show this week. So we won't do one next week because of Easter, because I'll probably be busy, and I should be, the plan is I'm hoping, let me shut the stream off. Bye! Nobody wants to hear us talking about what I'm going to be doing in real life. Nobody wants to hear that, so...
Talking about business.
Thanks for stopping by, guys. I appreciate it.